Hello, everyone, and welcome to the class this evening, which is the top 10 English as a second language consonant mistakes. My name is Jennifer Tarle, and I am the owner of Tarle Speech and Language and the lady that you see in all of my Minute of Speech videos. And before we get started, I just want to wish you all a very, very happy New Year. And thank you all for watching my videos and sending such great feedback and so many questions. Without you, we wouldn't be here today. So thank you very, very much. This is my first live session. So if you have any questions or if you can't hear me or if there's another issue, please let me know and I will do my best to fix that for you. Okay, so let me see if I can go ahead and do a screen share. Okay. Okay, that is not it. Let's try that again. And there we go. All right, perfect. So like I said, today we are going to talk about the top 10 consonant mistakes that speakers will make when they speak English as a second language. So we're going to go through those today. All right, so a little bit about accents first. Why do I have an accent? Why is an accent so difficult to learn? What are the most commonly mispronounced consonant sounds, and how do I say these sounds? So first, you've lived in the United States for years, you speak better than a native, but your accent still persists. Or you've studied English for years and years. You don't live in the US, but you use English every day. Why do you continue to have an accent? That is because every language has rule systems. Grammar is a very well-known rule system that most people learn and master through formal education. It's taught, it's instructed, you're given feedback on it. Sounds and sound combinations are another system of a language. I find that most people aren't instructed on this, or they're only instructed maybe on 1 or 2 lessons, and so they have a slight understanding, but they don't really have a deep knowledge of the sound system. So an accent then is the use of your native sound system and your rules in a foreign language. So what happens is that then you have certain habits and rules that you use instead of using the rules of the learned language, which is English in this case. So why is an accent so difficult to learn? The ability to process sounds, rhythms, and intonation of a foreign language decreases as our brains develop, and our ability to hear sounds that our language does not use is almost eliminated by age 7. So the speech sounds that we have and learn become habitual and very resistant to change. So these are the main sounds that I hear from almost every speaker of every language. These are the mistakes that I hear in English. And I have, I would say, 4 big categories. Number 1 is the dreaded TH sound, the. To make matters worse, there are 2 TH sounds. There is a voiceless TH and a voiced TH. The good news with this mistake is that you typically don't have to worry about the voicing, the voiceless, or the voiced. It's just about the actual placement of your tongue, which we'll get into today. The second biggest mistake that I see is the Z sound. I think a lot of this has to do with English spells the Z sound in different ways. They might use the letter S. In many languages, the Z sound doesn't exist, or it's made in a slightly different way. The 4th major sound error would be the NG. I have a slight dialectical difference with American English from where I grew up in Western Pennsylvania in a little town called Elizabeth outside of Pittsburgh. And we typically do not say the NG sound. We kind of drop that and we would say instead. So if I were to spell that, I would say bring in with just an IN at the end of that word instead of bringing with the NG sound. I also see a lot of people confuse the sound and make mistakes, mostly because of the spelling. The NG letters represent one sound. So this really is confusing to a lot of people. So we'll get into that. And the last 2, 4, 6 mistakes are confusing sound pairs. We have W versus V. And I think if this is one of your sound mistakes today, most of my clients are shocked at how easy this is to correct. SH versus CH. This would be the difference between sh versus ch. And that's a placement mistake. It's super easy to fix. And lastly, R and L. I work with a lot of Japanese clients, and I know that you really hate these sounds. And so I will give you a really quick and easy tip on how to differentiate these sounds. And also for most people who speak English as a second language, the R sound in many of your native languages is slightly different. And so we're going to talk about that as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and see here if anyone has any questions. Check back in here. And it doesn't look like there are any questions. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and keep going. So mistake number 1, you're going to get a twofer here, a BOGO, a buy one, get one. We have the TH sound. And the TH sound, mistakes that I hear are t, s, f, instead of. And if you notice, the big difference from all of the mistakes to the correct sound is that I stick my tongue out of my mouth and it does not touch my teeth. So to correctly make the TH sound, stick your tongue out of your mouth. It's going to be between your top and your bottom front teeth, and it is not going to touch. The air must continue to move over your tongue, out of your mouth to make the sound correct. Okay, let's give it a try. Okay, you try it. Okay, so remember to fix this sound, what you need to do is stick your tongue out, do not touch your teeth, and keep the air moving. So let's go ahead and give this a try, do a little practice. Okay, so just listen to the sound in these words. Think, thank, third, bathroom, without, anything, math, teeth, south. Okay, now repeat after me. We're going to try 3 words. Think, bathroom, math. Now try these 3 words on your own. Think, bathroom, math. Now let's try this sentence. This gets very difficult. Thank you for the thoughtful gift. Thank you for the thoughtful gift. Give it a try. Thank you for the thoughtful gift. Okay, how did you do? If you're still a little confused or think you're not correct, do not worry, because we're going to do that same sound again, but this time with voicing. So in English, a lot of our sounds have a partner. One is voiceless and one is voiced. And essentially the difference is your throat vibrating or not? To get more technical, is your voice box moving? Is your larynx vibrating? So to do that, you can just say, A. You feel that, feel your throat, A. That's voicing. Now listen to the difference between these 2 sounds. That's the voiceless TH. Now listen to the voiced TH. My tongue and my mouth do exactly the same thing. The only difference is the voicing. Okay, so to fix this voiced TH sound, some of the mistakes that I hear instead of this, that, these, and those, I hear den, zen, ven. So I hear lots of different things, and mostly the mistake is the tongue is not sticking out of the mouth. So let's go ahead, fix this sound, stick your tongue out of your mouth, keep the air moving, do not touch your teeth, and this time keep your voice on. If you need to, you can go ahead and feel your throat to make sure it is still moving. Most people, however, don't really have to worry about the voicing. The mistake here is with the tongue placement. So just make sure you stick your tongue out of your mouth. Okay, just listen. Than, that, this, brother, although, worthy, bathe, breathe, clothe. Let's try 3 words. Than, brother, bathe. Now try all 3. Than, brother, bathe. Now let's try a sentence. I'll say it twice. The mother and father love their children. The mother and father love their children. Excellent. The mother and father love their children. So if you want the handout for this session, so you can read all of the words and kind of follow along with me if you want to watch this live presentation again as a recording, you can find those handouts on my website at www.tarlespeech, Tarle is my last name, speech, S-P-E-E-C-H. Okay, let's move into the next sound, the Z sound. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again so that you can see a little easier, okay, what I am talking about here. So let's go ahead and start this from the current slide. Okay, so for this sound, the biggest mistake that I see is that people read the letter S as an S sound instead of reading it as a Z sound. So what I hear my clients say is crazy instead of crazy. So again, the letter Z sound can be spelled with a letter S. So we're talking about the sounds, not the spelling. So to fix this, 2 things you're going to have to do. Most of the time it's going to be listen, listen, listen. Or do a Google search. Do a Google search for words pronounced with a Z, spelled with an S sound, a letter S. You will get many, many word lists, and that will help you. To fix this mistake, turn your voice on. So listen to hear which sounds you aren't using. When are you saying S instead of Z? And then the biggest thing is make sure your voice is on for these sounds. Okay, so let's go ahead and try some of these. Just go ahead and listen. Zip, zero, zoo, visit, teasing, crazy, as, is, was. Repeat after me. Zip, visit, as. Zip, visit, as. All right, and now let's try a sentence. Was he planning to visit? Was he planning to visit? Excellent. Okay, so again, if you want these handouts, please go ahead and go to www.tarlespeech.com and I will have those handouts for you. Okay, next mistake is the NG sound. So the NG is spelled NG with 2 letters, but NG is one sound. This is a really easy sound to produce. Instead of touching the back of your top teeth to make the N sound, move the tip of your tongue, that part of your tongue, to the back of your bottom teeth. The air is going to move out of your nose to make this sound. So you're going to, again, keep your tongue behind your bottom front teeth and keep the air moving out of your nose, and make sure that you are making one sound. Okay, just listen. Anger, younger, angle, ring, strong, giving. Repeat after me. Anger, ring. Anger, ring. Now let's go ahead and try a sentence. Traveling while tiring is exciting. Traveling while tiring is exciting. Okay, how did you do? Did you keep your tongue behind your bottom front teeth? I'm sure that you did, so excellent. And if you have any questions, go ahead. I can answer questions live. You just enter those in the chat section, and then I can see those and answer back for you. Okay, the next two sounds that we have are V and W. So we read the letter, what I hear, this is the mistake that I hear. I hear people basically using these two sounds interchangeably. And I think a lot of times it's a reading mistake because people will see the W sound, the W letter, which is W, and they will read it as a V. Again, this is a spelling difference in some languages. Also, I think just some people are trying to get the content of what they're reading, and so they might make little mistakes based on the spellings. So for W, what you're going to do is you're going to round your lips, and that is all you need to do. Just round your lips. You don't really have to worry about where your tongue is. So we're going to say wah, wah. That's easy for the W. For the V sound, what you are going to do is gently bite the bottom lip with your top front teeth. So that easy. W, don't do anything but round your lips. And for the V sound, gently bite your bottom lip. Excellent. Okay, so let's try these two sounds, these two confusing sounds. Just listen. Void, voice, very. Went, won, what. I'm going to start with the V again first and then move to W. Advance, avoid, forever. Always, beware, someone. So let's go ahead and repeat after me. Void, went. Advance, always. Let's try all four of those. Void, went. Advance, always. And let's try one of my videos. Confusing word pair. Wine, vine. And let's go ahead and try a sentence. Which wine was the best value? Which wine was the best value? Excellent. Okay, so again, if you have any questions, let me know. Even if you don't think of any questions now, I hear a lot of people say after class, I was driving home and I had so many questions, or after we hung up from class, I thought of so many things to ask you. That's fine. Feel free to email me. Feel free to post to Facebook or to Twitter or to Google+, or even to this YouTube channel, and I will be sure to get back to you with some responses. Okay, The next two sounds we have, confusing sound pair, SH, sh, and CH, ch. These get confusing because they look so similar. The difference is what's happening in your mouth with your tongue. For the SH sound, do not, I repeat, do not touch your teeth. Shh. The air is going to keep flowing out of your mouth. Shh. For the CH sound, touch the back of your top front teeth. Ch. Then pull the tip of your tongue back towards the back of your mouth. Ch. So you're going to start by touching your teeth, then move away from your teeth. So let's give those two sounds a try again. Shh. Ch. So first, shh, and second, ch. I think another problem is these sounds are so close when you listen to them. Plus, they look almost exactly the same, so they get very, very confusing. The good news is that the spelling is pretty standard. For SH, you usually see the two letters, SH, again, two letters, one sound. And for the CH, you usually see a CH or a TCH, and that stands for one sound. Okay, so let's go ahead and try a few of these. Go ahead and just listen first. She, shoe, shirt. Chew, chat, chatter. So again, I'm starting with the SH. Wishes, tissue, machine. Now the CH. Posture, question, watching. Cash, dish, push. Catch, each, lunch. Now let's go ahead and try these. She wishes cash. Chew, posture, catch. And now in a sentence, she eats lunch each day while watching TV. She eats lunch each day while watching TV. That was even kind of hard for me, so it was a good tongue twister to practice. All right. All right, so the last sound combination we have today are the L and the R sound. A lot of people confuse these two sounds. Sometimes I hear people say a D sound instead of an L sound. And a lot of times for the R sound, people will move the sound because they do that in their native language. And in English, an R sound is very static and it's very stationary, and our tongue does not move. So let's start with the R sound. To make the R sound, you want to keep the sides of your tongue stable. There's a couple of ways you can make the R sound. You can make the R sound with your tongue sort of flipped back, or you can make it with your tongue flipped down. I describe this by saying touch the tip of your tongue to the bottom of your back front teeth. So to the bottom of your back front teeth, the sides of your tongue are going to touch your upper top teeth in the back. If by chance you make an R in a different way and it sounds fine, that is okay. You do not have to follow my instructions. If you confuse R and L, I highly recommend that you make your R sound in the bottom of your mouth with the tongue tip behind your bottom front teeth, because the L sound is made behind your top front teeth. Ooh, ooh. Okay, so L is at the top. Ooh. R is at the bottom. Again, you can also make your R with your tongue flexed back, but that's really a personal preference and it's really whatever works for you. However, like I said, if you confuse these two sounds, L up here, R down here. It's great to differentiate and have a big difference between those. Okay, let's go ahead and practice some of these. Just listen. Read, road, river. Carry, arrive, diary. And now the L. Lead, load, listen. Calling, delete, really. Tell, file, vowel. Okay, let's give these a try. Read, carry, lead, calling, tell. And now in a sentence. Listen, then read the list of words. Listen, then read the list of words. And this last sentence really tested you. We had a TH in here, an R, an L, and a Z sound that was spelled with the letter S. So I hope you remembered those little sounds that we practiced, probably 15, 20 minutes ago in this sentence. If you didn't, that's okay. Practice makes perfect, and mistakes are great. That is how you learn. When you hear your mistake and you fix it, then you do the correction. You're going to remember that and do that more often the next time. So here are some tips to improve your pronunciation starting now. Number one, slow down by adding pauses. In English, we speak in phrases. I would say, hello, my name is Jennifer Tarle. I am wearing a blue shirt and khaki pants. You can hear I'm pausing in these slight phrase groups. Focus on the sounds, not the spelling. Listen, listen, listen. A great way to improve your pronunciation is to listen to podcasts. Many of my clients say the most progress that they make is when they listen to podcasts that they do not care about the topic, because you're listening for the sounds, the cadence, the pronunciation, not necessarily for the content. Say each word. Focus on each word while you're practicing. It's a little bit harder to do while you're talking. And do not be afraid to open your mouth and move your tongue. This is going to feel very weird while you're getting started. Don't worry. It starts to feel more natural as soon as you develop a habit. How do you do this? To practice and learn a new skill, you need to be focused and you need to have consistent practice. So first, start by just listening to hear the difference between the sounds. You can Google search and get some auditory files to listen as well. Or you can go to my website. I do offer materials. You can also listen to all of my free videos here on YouTube and get free listening practice. Once you can hear the difference between the sounds, we're going to move on to practice. Practice words, just words. That's the easiest. You can practice the sound at the beginning of a word, and the middle of a word, and at the end of a word. Then practice with that sound in a sentence. Then practice the sound while you are reading, then while you are talking. I always suggest to my clients, if you speak English at work every day and you answer the phone and you say the same thing every time you answer the phone, make sure you say that with perfect pronunciation. And you are going to practice that over and over and over again while you are working. So that's great because I know you're busy. And of course, you need to practice as much as possible. I really like to suggest practicing in small bits while you're very fresh. So you could practice 5 minutes at the top of every hour. You can practice 15 minutes 4 times a day, or 10 minutes 6 times a day. Whatever works best for you, just practice, 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 and spread it throughout the day. Okay, so our time is up. Thank you so much for attending the Tarle Speech and Language Services first live class. I love feedback, so please let me know what you thought about the class, what other classes you would like to see, and when you would like to see them. I just got a Facebook post from a a follower who said it's 2:30 in the morning where I live. This is not very convenient. So if it's not convenient for you and you want a different time, please let me know and I will try to accommodate as much as I can. So again, Happy New Year. Thank you for watching and thank you for following me on the Tarle Speech YouTube page. And I look forward to your feedback and I look forward to talking to you again in the future. Thanks so much.